In this movie, we will see the rat and mouse game between the serial killer and a suspended police officer who wants to catch him at any cost. This movie is based on the true events happened in Mumbai in early 1980s, where a serial killer had killed 8 people with a stone while they are asleep and had never been arrested. Hello guys, and welcome to our channel, Movie Stop. And today, we will see a Bollywood neo-noir crime thriller, The Stoneman Murders 2009. The movie starts in September 2nd, where a sweeper sees the dead body of a boy. In the next scene, we see Sub-Inspector Sanjay, who has caught someone for the murder happened early. While interrogating him in jail, he said messing with his boss will cost him his job, which makes Sanjay to lose his temper, and he starts beating him badly. A second sub-inspector, Kedar, comes in and sees Sanjay, but he can't do anything but to sit quietly. Soon after, an officer calls Sanjay as the suspect has died due to his extensive beating. In the next scene, Additional Inspector General, AIG Satam, visits the police station, who suspends Sanjay for custodial death and makes second sub-inspector Kedar in charge. AIG Satam leaves the station saying SI Kedar that this is a random killing and it won't happen again. But soon after he leaves the station, another pavement dweller becomes the next victim. Sanjay visits AIG Satam and asks to give him another chance. AIG Satam asks him to start his own parallel investigation, and if his report will come first, then he will recommend his rejoining. Sanjay goes to his friend, Campbell, to ask his help in this investigation, who bring him all the investigation copies that he needed to solve the case. Sanjay rents a room for his investigation. He reports this all to AIG Satam that all these 5 murders have been taken place in between Sion and Matunga cities, within 5-kilometer radius, and all this are committed either on Tuesday or Saturday. While going home, he visits his local informant who says he and many others suspect one particular person, Mohammed, who keeps circling this area the whole night. Next day, he gets a call from AIG Satam about another murder, and upon visiting the murder site, he sees he was none other than his informant who spoke with him last night. Same night, Sanjay takes the taxi with Mohammed, and while driving, he asks him many questions, on which Mohammed was completely quiet and awkward. Sanjay asks him to stop nearby while he buys cigarettes, but he leaves him there while he was standing outside, which makes his suspicion stronger on him. In his home, while his beautiful wife is changing clothes, a stone smashes the window, and when Sanjay comes home, he gets the point while his wife complains about the kids for misbehaving. As Sanjay continues to find the suspect, Mohammed runs away. In night, as he was walking by on the street for his investigation, he meets his old team with SI Kedar, who asks him about his presence in this area at this time and also offers him a cigarette of his brand, which they found on previous murder site near his dead informant. But Sanjay leaves without revealing his investigation. While walking, he passes by many street dwellers who are sleeping peacefully while a boy is guarding them all. But soon after his small chat with Sanjay, that boy goes to freshen up, and there he becomes another victim. The blow was so strong that Sanjay hears it from a distance and runs towards it, and, seeing his dead body, he regrets for leaving him there. He sees a piece of wool on the murder site, on which he gets an expert opinion from a local merchant who tells him that it's a crude wool which he won't get in Mumbai. He says that this wool is only located on Mahabaleshwar mountains, where local tribe makes them for their personal use. Next day, after reporting to AIG Satam, he goes back to his car, but soon he realizes that there is someone with him, and he turns around and sees his visual in the rear mirror, and he starts chasing him. The murderer then soon strikes on his next victim, and, upon hearing his scream, police run towards the site, while Sanjay leaves by his car. Next day, his wife asks him about his absence, which makes her think that he is having an affair. Upon arriving at his rented room, he notices that the lock has been replaced, and, as he breaks in, he sees his whole room is covered with blood with a big stone in the middle, like a ritual. He runs towards his home and starts packing bags for his wife, as he didn't feel she is safe in this house, before he leaves to get tickets. On station, he sees the murderer and starts chasing him and gets noticed by a policeman. In the subway, he sees another victim, and as he tries to save him, he gets attacked by the murderer. And in the fight, he manages to knock him down, and as he tries to save the victim, police arrive at the scene and Sanjay runs away, as he knew Officer Kedar will not believe his story. Police start looking for him and get to his rented room, where they see the walls are covered in blood and the big stone in the middle, on which S.I. Kedar thought that he has lost his mind after losing his job and now started killing the street dwellers in frustration, making Sanjay their prime target, while Sanjay goes to a library to study the tribe and their rituals. S.I. Kedar reports his findings to Commissioner in a committee that police have Sanjay's fingerprints on the cigarette and on the knife used in the subway, and how he was present at the crime scenes around the same time in all murders, while Sanjay, on the other hand, learns about the tribe rituals. Sanjay soon calls AIG Satam, saying that tonight there will be another murder, and it will be the last, as it will be the 9th, the final sacrifice before the killings will get to stop. Later, he gets a call from AIG Satam, who tells him to leave the city as soon as possible, as S.I. Kedar is convinced that he has done all the 8 murders, and he will send a car for him which will escort him to his village at sharp 10. Later, his friend, Campbell, warns him on a call that the commissioner has planned for his arrest by sending him a car. Sanjay asks to meet him in National Park, where he gives him all his report and asks him to submit them to AIG Satam. Sanjay says that he saw his shoes in the subway, which only get manufactured for their unit. The 7-number shoe with heavy heels, and yet he was running with such an ease, and he believes that the Stoneman murderer is someone from their unit. Campbell asks him what might be the motive for a police officer to do such horrifying killings, on which Sanjay said, superstition. He says that these murders are not killings, but rather sacrifices, the ritual killing. Campbell asks him how did he know such details, on which Sanjay replies that in the inner parts of our state, there is one tribal village where there are no doctors, but only witch doctors whom people believe completely. Their practices consist of many things like rituals and black magic, which includes human sacrifice to get the results. As Campbell asks him how these rituals are connected with these murders, Sanjay says that this murder only takes place on Tuesday and Saturday, strictly in between 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., when the planetary alignments are in a particular order, indicating that someone is performing a religious ritual here. He says that, as per their rituals, if 9 men are sacrificed, then even the incurable diseases can be cured, like sexual impotence. The killer is someone who cannot sleep with women, as he is impotent and only 1 murder is left. While Sanjay asks for his final help to get the list of police recruitments from this tribal villages, Campbell hit him with a stone, which makes him unconscious for a while, before he starts his final ritual. Police get a tip that Sanjay's car has been seen entering in the national park, and S.I. Kedar goes to catch him. As Campbell is about to hit him after performing his ritual, Sanjay wakes up and they both get into a fight, where he overpowers Campbell and was about to kill him in self-defense with the same stone. But before that, the police arrive and he gets shot down by Kedar. Sanjay gets admitted in the hospital, where at night Campbell goes to finish him off once and for all, before realizing that it was an ambush for him by police officers to catch him red-handed, proving that Sanjay is innocent. In the end, we can see that in the same village where Campbell had grown up, another man visits the witch doctor who orders him to do the same sacrifices like Campbell to cure his impotence, but this time in Kolkata, not Mumbai. In the end credits, we can see that in 1983, 8 pavement dwellers were found murdered, and in 1987, the same killings re-emerged in Kolkata, claiming 9 victims there. See you guys!